Hi, Celso from Guará.ca, and today I want to show you the easiest way to transfer animation from one character to another without using any add-ons. Just one thing to keep in mind, for this technique to work, you will need both rigs to have all the bones named the same. In my case, one of the rigs is missing a lot of the face stuff, which is okay as long as the actions that you're saving, all the bones inside the action that you created also exist on the other rig that you're transferring the animation to. So you can't transfer from one character to another, from different versions of the rig to the final version, or to a completely different character as long as the bones are named the same. Now, if the rig is too different, you might consider downloading an add-on and actually use a tool to transfer the animation instead of doing manually like this. Because I'm not an animator and I'm not trying to be one, I'm just using all the resources I can get to make my life easier and actually finish this project that I'm doing by myself. So for the facial expressions, I'm using Faceit, a Blender add-on with a little bit of motion capture for the face. And here's a little bit of my junky setup. Playback is not the best when I'm screen recording, but you get the idea, right? I actually shaved my beard to get a cleaner mocap. It's not perfect, but it's gonna help me a lot. It's gonna get me miles ahead of what I would have been. And for the same reason, I'm using Cascadeur for the body animation, which has been proven to work really well for me, but also means that I have 3 different rigs. A simplified body rig for Cascadeur, a simplified Blender scene with only the facial rig so I can get better frame rate for animating the dialogues and the facial expressions. And my actual Blender scene where everything is put together and I have a lot of modifiers and shaders and everything works. Except the frame rate on this one sucks. If I hit play, it's like 1 or 2 frames per second. So here's how I'm putting everything together. Here I have my full rig with the complex shaders and all the modifiers and everything that I need. And I'm gonna just import my facial animation into this. And because my facial animation is all in a Blender file, instead of import, I'm actually appending. I could export an FBX, but I don't want to complicate things even more, so I'm gonna just append and look for the file. So I'm gonna choose the writer collection. Where's collections? Writer 1. And I already had a Writer 1 collection there. So it kind of doubled down everything inside the collection. I don't want that. So I'm just gonna do M new collection, and I'm gonna name this one temp underscore face. And I just isolated by pressing / on the number keyboard, and I'm moving on the timeline. You see the scene is already a lot slower, right? Like I'm having trouble with the playback here. So I'm just moving to see if the animation there, it is. And here's the secret. You just select the rig that has the animation. In this case, I'm only using the facial rig. I'm not using the body rig. And I'm gonna change here from timeline to dope shit, and I'm gonna change from dope shit, so on the second one here, to action editor. And I'm gonna bring this up a little bit here so I can see it better. When in pose mode, I'm gonna select everything, so A to select all the controllers for the face, and same thing here, A to select all the keyframes. And it has a name here already, right? So I'm just gonna change to something that I can easily identify. So let's say face test 01. So now this exists as an action to be selected here. And now all I need to do is select my facial rig that doesn't have any animation, and instead of clicking on new here, I'm just gonna click on this drop down menu, and I'm select the one that I just named, so face test 01. And I don't know if you noticed, but the face kind of popped a little bit there. So let me turn off all the new stuff that I imported. So temp face collection, I can just turn it off. And we can go into render mode here. And I can actually see on this rig, the face is moving. And even when playback is really slow, because of all the modifiers and everything, I already set the timing with the lighter Blender file, right? So I just bring it over, and here I could delete this already, but I just want to keep it for the next part. Okay, I'm gonna go get out of render view just to save some processing power. File, this time is import, and I exported from Cascadeur as an FBX, so that's what I'm gonna select here. So you can see I have my Cascadeur scene here with the simplified car interior just for animation's sake. So I'm gonna do this in 2 steps. M and our new collection, this time temp body, create. So now I can easily turn on and off. And I do that before I click on anything. I import the scene, everything that I imported is selected, so I can easily move to a new collection if I need to. So I'm gonna isolate this for a second and just gonna delete the stuff that I don't need. In this case is mostly the car. Everything else kind of works. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Select the rig, name it, so body test 01. Selecting my actual current rig. I'm gonna already hide this so I can better see. And we can even go to render view just to get a more pleasant look. So selecting the rig here, drop down menu, body test 01, and boom. Now I have a lot of things to clean up, but also I have, and that's another story, right? Like how I'm gonna clean the intersections up. I'll be sculpting, doing lots of shot sculpting and character effects on those things to simplify this. But for now, what's important is I got the animation and the face animation combined on this character, and playback's gonna be really hard, but it's working. And if I decide that the timing is not working and things are not fine, I can adjust on the individual scenes and just repeat the process, bring it back here. Those 2 collections here, on the middle, I have my actual rig with all the modifiers and shaders and everything. On the right, I have the facial animation. The shaders are applied here because it was a Blender scene, but all the modifiers are off. It's a bit lighter. Doesn't have a lot of the things that I need. And on the left is the Cascadeur rig with no modifiers, no shaders, no nothing. So I can just delete the other 2. And now I have a clean scene with just this character and everything that I need on his animation. I'm actually gonna use this scene to clean everything up, including the intersections and everything. And I'm gonna export, append that into my actual final scene. So that's it for today. I have a few cool videos coming up next week, including how I'm doing my makeshift facial tracking and more details of what this project is actually about.